All right, good morning and welcome to the annual Heart Men's Wrestling Media Day. I'm your host, Tony Hager with IAWrestle.com. Next up, we're excited to talk the first year Baker University head coach Tyrone Lewis and Malachi Karibo. Guys, welcome to Media Day. Wrestling is here. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Thank you, Tyler, for having us. Appreciate it. Everything's going well on our end. Everybody's training hard and looking good so far. So I think Malachi, I'm not sure about Malachi though. No.
Coach, first year at Baker, for those that are new, to you, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you landed here at Baker.
Oh, I hate talking about myself. Put me on the spot here.
Real quick, just real quick. That's fine.
Well, I'm originally from El Reno, Oklahoma. I wrestled, grew up and wrestled there. I wrestled at Oklahoma State, graduated Oklahoma State, trained on Olympic circuit there for a number of years. Then I started coaching at Oklahoma State. Then moved down to University of Oklahoma, and then on to the University of Maryland, and then moved back to Oklahoma and started coaching at my high school again, which is El Reno, and wanted to get back into the college coaching circuit and started looking into and delving into universities and came across Baker University and immediately became very excited about the future here and the opportunities here as far as the progression in which the program was headed and it excited me. So I jumped on board right away.
And Coach, I know you mentioned you don't like talking about yourself, but I think it's important to people to know kind of just that journey of, hey, you just didn't land in Baker University. There's steps along the way in your career that got you to this point and makes you the right man for the job. So now I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk about the man to your right. Malachi, you have him here for a reason. So what is the importance of him to you personally and to this team?
Well, when I look at individuals as far as from a student athlete standpoint, in the guys that dots that the I's and crosses the T's in regards to being associated, being affiliated with our program and representing our program, Malachi does that tenfold, and as far as with the guys that we're looking to bring in as well, he's an ultimate all around student athlete, and a guy that not only works his tail off in the room, lived the lifestyle of being a champion, on the mat and off the mat and socially. So sets an example, for our underclassmen, and definitely looking forward to to the future with guys following in his footsteps in the path that he's creating, not only for our guys that are here, but the guys that we're looking to bring in for the future.
Malachi, this is year one for Coach, and obviously he's a coach for a reason, right? But knowing these guys behind the scenes, I'm sure is important to him, and you maybe he might lean on you a little bit, right? A little bit more than he would maybe somebody else on the program. How are you hoping to take care of yourself, but also lead this program?
Obviously, like Coach Lewis said, by example. I'm not the most vocal leader ever, but I feel like I've always been a leader by example, and that's just kind of how I want to continue to lead by example.
What weight class you plan on wrestling this year?
197.
197. Okay. Is that at this time of the year, is that something you got in check, or is that something you got to, kind of lean into that as we got wrestling around the corner, man?
Yeah, I'm starting to get down to weight. Usually I come in fairly heavy, but once I start working out and consistently, the weight just kind of falls off pretty easily. So,
and obviously there's a build up and you kind of have I'm sure you have a system in place of kind of what you should be the night before, and having that national championship run that you did last year, obviously, getting to the semifinals, placing fourth at nationals. What what takeaways did you take from the national championships? Are there any like major things to change, going into the season throughout the year, to make sure that you represent Baker at the top of the stand this year?
Just having that confidence, I guess, just trusting my ability, knowing that I can compete with those guys, I think is definitely going to be a big step this year for me. Something that's going to help me.
They give you a little extra motivation.
For sure.
Yeah. We don't know what we have until it's not there, So I wish you the best of luck at kind of, getting back to where you're at and getting your goals right. And Coach, this is for you. You've had a lot of success through your career, international experience in the sport of wrestling, as a wrestler, overseas in Turkey back a long time ago. Right. But, having that opportunity to, be in different cultures, and different wrestlers from across the country, and is kind of important when it comes to meeting different wrestlers wanting to come to Baker and knowing what makes them tick and how to talk them a little bit. So how important were those travels overseas and your personal kind of wrestling career on the mat?
It definitely, just thinking back and looking back, even seeing now, and following the sport and following athletes, traveling on an international circuit, it makes me think about, how much, we take for granted a lot of times and how much we need to appreciate, what we have, not only in our school, but in our country, and take advantage of those things and not taking such things, the little things for granted whenever you go overseas and experience some of the things that you see and some of the individuals that you come across, from an athlete standpoint and from coach's perspective, it really, it really opens your eyes and it allows you to gain a lot of experience in regards to what it's going to take in order to compete on that level. And, with that, with Baker University, we're not a part-time, something that I'm looking forward to implementing with our program is we're not a part-time, season program. We're wrestling year round, looking to put guys on an international teams, at all levels and competing year round. So, and with that, hopefully we can, change the mindset a little bit in regards to, keeping guys on campus, keeping guys here and keeping guys bought in and dialed in order to, and motivated to, to make some of those national teams and build a culture here, at Baker to where when guys come here, they're not only going to be expected to compete on a national, on a high level, collegiately, but also internationally. And the expectation is going to be not only winning national championships, but, world, making world and Olympic teams as well.
Yeah, and that has, from the time that you were competing to now, the mindset of competing year round and making national teams. I mean, it's now, I think, a culture that we have in our sport where you have to have that if you want to be the best overall wrestler and getting in that Greco and freestyle side of things. So, but as you have the D1 level experience on the folk style side of things, coaches, when you're thinking about coming to Baker, what had you heard about NAI wrestling, specifically the Heart of American Conference in the sport of wrestling?
When I looked into it and I started really researching, the conference and, the NAI level, the thing that jumped out to me was the caliber of athletes that are overlooked due to the title of the level. And I think that it's what's important for us at Baker is something that I'm trying to implement in other guys. We're not just, our mindset is not just competing on the level that everybody expects us to compete at just because we're NAI. We're competing at the highest level. Our mindset is to see the best guy in the country, regardless of the level that, that they're at, or what, where we're at. We're competing for the, to train for the best guy and the best team in the country. And with that, I something that I've always had a mindset of my own, thinking back to training is, if I'm preparing for the best guy in my weight, if I'm preparing for the best guy in the world, that's going to keep me on track to, doing the right things day in, day out, every week of competition to get me to where I want to be in the end. But just going back to your question, I think I think the level of NAI is it's high caliber, and I think there's athletes here that could compete, on a very high level, and I just think that some of the guys, some of the teams and individuals may not have the exposure or the resources to get the exposure, but at the same time, when I look at, I watch film and I look at some of these individuals in the conference, and I look at some of these individuals on a national scale, along with individuals on, in our program, we have some high level guys. We have some high level competitors and some guys that, if they get the opportunity with the exposure, they can compete on a, Division I, Division II level. So, and that's the mindset that I'm taking, with this program and with this year. And I'm hoping to implement that with our program. And I think if we take that as individuals with our team, and I think we're going to be moving in the right direction.
Malachi, just hearing Coach speak, to me, and I guess not the team, where I'm sure you're used to that, right, on an individual basis, or he's speaking to the team. Maybe you're hearing your coach in a different light, I guess, maybe not. But is there anything that hearing him talk that gets you excited? Looking forward to learning from Coach Lewis just about holding yourself to a higher level than maybe you haven't before. Do you feel that changing?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like he's definitely motivated me a lot this year. Not only just hearing him talk, but even the stuff that he's already implementing as far as practices go, and just the way he's running everything, and the way that he's already transferring our program. I'm really excited for it.
Is that kind of how's that feeling of like not knowing, and then coach comes in and was there a moment that you're like, all right, this dude's gonna be all right?
Yeah. Man, kind of just the first time the first time I met him, I kind of was already thinking like, yeah, I think he's the guy. But just spending more and more time with him, I'm really confident now. I'm really sure.
And Malachi, just looking at the season being here, your guys' strength of schedule, obviously the Heart is the premier conference. What are some of those duels that you have that the circled on your calendar? Maybe a match that you want back from the national championship or throughout the season that you got circled that is motivating you a little bit extra this season?
Man, honestly, I'm ready for all of them. I got them all circled. Coming for everybody. So love it.
I love that too, coach. That's it's easy to kind of probably like have blinders on and look for a specific individual, right? So that's really kind of what you want to hear out of your athlete. Overall, coach, just what are the vibes compared to when you first step on campus to now? What are some of those, have you reached some of those short-term goals you had as coming in? And what are some long-term goals for, realistic goals for your program this season?
Like Malachi said, there was a lot of uncertainty, with the athletes, myself, the administration. And I think, with time passing and everybody, getting familiar with each other and just learning the ropes for me personally, just learning the ins and outs and the ropes of everything. It's helped me gain a lot of confidence and being more open and accepting of things and helping me, build relationships with individuals. So it's definitely been great just learning. For me, short-term goal was coming in and having an open mind to learning and being acceptance of everything, right? And trying to find my way and figuring things out for myself and hopefully, like I said, building relationships with the team and with the staff and in the community was something that was really important for me to do right away. Coming from a high school program, it's different. I think what's going to be for me personally a goal was one of my goals is making sure that I'm in a stage of managing high level athletes versus more so developing where in high school you get what you get, right? And you're a lot of focus is developing and molding athletes to what you want versus now I'm managing. With that, it's going to require me a lot of times to stay out of the way. A guy like this, you just stay out of the way and manage it and be there when it needs when they need you and hopefully down the road you build a type of relationship there where they truly trust in the process and trust in you and trust in the staff and everything that's being implemented. So I think it's important for me is that, like I said, with athletes like this and a number of guys that we have on the team coming back with upperclassmen is making sure that I'm not overdoing it and I stay out of their way and let them do their thing. I think with this, with our program, with the vibe that we have with our program right now, something that I immediately, took notice of was, we have individuals that love to work, and we have guys that don't mind putting in the grind of a high level practices and high level training sessions, and we don't have complainers, and that's something that I really, really love about this team right now. And this team is another thing that I love seeing is guys that are together. We're going to continue to build on that throughout the year. And I think what's important for our program and for our team and our individuals is that they understand, and we understand as a program, is each and every day we're earning our way. And I think as individuals, what's going to be important is that we stay humble, we stay hungry, and like I said, with that, we're earning our way each and every time we put our foot on that line. And, it's with earning our way, understanding it's going to be earned the hard way.
So it sounds like the guys are, you're coming into a program that the culture is there, just needs some fine tuning. So, I really appreciate you guys joining this Heart Wrestling Media Day. We'll be there covering you guys along the way, and we wish you the best of luck. Malachi, getting back, getting what you want this year, and Coach leading this program to where you want to be. Thank you guys.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you guys.